Hey, what's up YouTube? Lightsaber Samurai here. I'm back again with another video and kicking off Backlog February. I've got an interesting little first-person shooter on the Sega Dreamcast, but after 20 years, is it any good? Well, let's talk about it. Okay, so the game in question is coming to us courtesy of Ravensoft and Crave Entertainment. That is Soldier of Fortune, and like I said, it's on the Sega Dreamcast. This came out in an era of games like Metal Gear Solid or Siphon Filter, Covert Ops, Nuclear Dawn, the kind of Tom Clancy-esque spy thriller anti-terrorist theme was pretty heavy in games at the time, and this one's no different. You play as a soldier named John Mullen, who is a part of this organization called the Shop, which is an anti-terrorist unit assigned with tracking down this group of terrorists and recovering some nukes. The protagonist, he looks a lot like Captain Price from the Call of Duty series. So Infinity Ward, yes, Sega Dreamcast did it first. Ravensoft did it first with this game. This is a fantastic first-person shooter. I'm glad that I've dug this one out. It plays like your standard corridor first-person shooter of the era, where you kind of go from room to room and eliminate all the bad guys and move to the next room. You'll flip a switch here and there, maybe open a hatch or a door and things like that, and then you're on to the next level. Yes, it can seem to become a little bit monotonous, but thankfully the weaponry and the gameplay itself, the shooting mechanics, really save the show. This actually reminds me a lot of Black in the way that the guns are fantastically detailed, at least for the time, in the way you can just blow off limbs, and they've got really some destructive environments in here, which is kind of still brand new at the time. Again, this was before Red Faction or Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, so shooting out fire hydrants and things like that, this is actually the first game now that I've seen that in. The weapons, like I said, star of the show, just like Black. The weapons are fantastic, everything from your Spa shotgun, you've got Glock 9s, and you got Desert Eagles and sniper rifles, missile launchers, all the standard flair of tasty calibers when it comes to weapons, and they work fantastically in this game. The shooting mechanics, again, this is an older first-person shooter, so you're not really going to see any things like ADS or anything, you know, slick, like shooting down the iron sights like you would see in the later Call of Duty games and things like that, but this plays more like Quake, for instance, and in fact this game uses the Quake 2 engine. Again, at the time, the graphics had to have been very slick. This looks really good compared to Dreamcast games and early PlayStation 2 games, and the textures now, again, a little lacking in detail, but they're nice and smooth. The frame rate chugs along nicely without any hiccups. I didn't notice anything like pop-in, although I will say some of the load times are kind of long in it. That was pretty much the only graphical hiccup that I would probably count it for if I were grading this 20 years ago. I think even for the standard, the loading times were a bit long. That being said, again, the fact that you can shoot an enemy in the face and either get a nice little exit wound out the back of his head, or depending on the weapon, take his head off completely. If you shoot an enemy in the hand, for instance, he can drop his weapon, he'll hold and shake his arm out in pain, and actually he'll even crouch down and cower at that point. He won't even fight back. You can shoot enemies in the knee and watch them hop around for a few seconds. You can even shoot them in the groin and watch them hold their junk as they fall onto the ground, writhing in pain. Again, kind of standard flair for nowadays, but in 2001 this was nigh unheard of as far as first-person shooters go, and just games in general. So I can tell that from the standards of the era, it really set a high bar as far as the gameplay. I think this is on the cheaper side of games. I think I picked this up for about it's around $10 to $20, and again, it's definitely worth it. Another thing to note is this is a Dreamcast game, so the Dreamcast, as we know, only has one analog stick. Well, They use the analog stick kind of for aiming, and then the right face buttons you use to kind of move around and things like that. It's very similar to if you play first-person shooters on the PSP. I've played quite a few on the PSP, so it only took me a few minutes to get acclimated to what type of game this is. Again, it's not that bad considering you don't have like an aim down the sights mechanic or anything like that. The only kind of precise aiming you'll be doing is with the sniper rifle, and in that case it's really not that bad. All in all, this is a fantastic game. Again, one of the games I'm definitely glad I dug out the backlog. So if you see this one for the Dreamcast, definitely pick it up. Alright guys, I do believe that's all I got for you for this short little video, so let's talk about it in the comment section below. Questions, comments, concerns, threats. What do you guys think of this game? Have you ever played Soldier of Fortune? I think this is a bona fide hidden gem on the system. Again, I kind of missed the train with Sega Dreamcast, so I didn't really play a lot of the Sega Dreamcast during the Dreamcast era, so I don't know if this game was super popular or not. I never hear anybody talk about it though, so I feel like it's one of the more obscure ones, and sadly, that seems like a lot of people may have missed out on this fantastic game. Alright guys, I do believe that's all I got for you. If you guys like this content, go ahead, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. You'll be glad you did. I do believe that's all I got for you. Lightsaber Samurai out, in peace.